Business news now. Kris McCusker, I can't say your name today. It's Monday, Kris. It's the Monday thing going on. All right, we're only a few months into 2024, but Kris, this could once again be the year of Taylor Swift.
It's certainly looking that way, Cynthia. Her new album, her latest album, has been out for only 10 days, and it continues to hit records. So this is the Tortured Poets Department, and it's hit #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. And that means that Swift is now tied with Jay-Z for the second most #1 albums at 14. Only the Beatles, with 19 #1 albums, have had more. Swift also sold 859,000 vinyl units. That's the highest number in modern history. And the album is now also the top-selling album of 2024, eclipsing Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Swift's album has also hit 891 or so million streams, the biggest streaming week for an album in history. Wow, like that is a lot. She's broken the highest single week mark for an album, passing Drake's 25-track Scorpion. And in true Taylor Swift fashion, she has thanked her fans on X, saying she is feeling completely overwhelmed. I think we all are.
I think so, whether you love her or not. That's huge.
It is. It is. She's doing a lot of things right, obviously.
Clearly, and quite the marketing machine.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
It's shaping up to be another busy week on the markets, Kris, with a big interest rate decision looming south of the border.
Yes, so in the U.S., we are going to get that interest rate announcement on Wednesday. There's not going to be any change at this meeting, Cynthia, but really it's what comes next that's going to be of note. There has been a lot of talk potentially about 0 interest rate cuts in the U.S. this year, maybe even an interest rate hike, just because inflation is still not cooling enough stateside for the Fed to cut rates. Now, we did see a winning start to the week on markets, a degree of caution from investors. We do have another slew of earnings reports to come this week. Tesla stock, one of the standouts today, it had its best day in 3 years, up by about 15%. That connected to CEO Elon Musk's surprise trip to China. So Musk managed to tentatively get clearance for self-driving cars in China. Shares in Apple also moved higher today after an upgrade and ahead of earnings on Thursday. It was also the winner on Bay Street ahead of GDP data in Canada tomorrow. Now, the price for oil today did close at its lowest level in a month. Reports Canada's Trans Mountain pipeline set to start partial operations this week, along with optimism on a potential ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. So yes, a busy week to come.
Busy week to come. Let's end now, though, with Canadians still waiting for interest rates to fall here.
Yeah.
And when that starts happening, the real estate market could get a real jolt, Kris.
Well, yes, and that's sort of the caveat in this. A new poll shows the majority of Canadians looking to buy a home will push their plans to next year or later to wait for interest rates to drop. So the Bank of Montreal says 72% of respondents are hoping to buy a home, but they will wait until borrowing costs fall. That is up 4% from last year. Now, interest rate cuts are expected in the second half of this year in Canada. BMO Capital Markets senior economist Robert Kavcic says it's still a long way for rates to be low enough to restore affordability to recent norms. So yes, even if we get interest rate cuts, it's not going to do much to help prices.
It's going to take quite some time. Kris McCusker, thank you for joining us.